From the earliest stage, my grandfather had a big influence on my style. He was a maitre d' at this place called the 500 Club in Atlantic City. That was where the Rat Pack had gotten their start. He wore these black horned rim glasses, and I always said to myself that, like, if I ever needed to wear glasses, I would find a pair exactly like my grandfather had. There's only one place in New York City to find a pair of frames with that much heritage and authenticity, and that's MOSCOT. I grew up surfing in the early 1980s. You know, as a kid from New Jersey, the ecosystem that I grew up surfing in was really strange, because at that time, there was sort of this influence coming out of Southern California. It was new wave, punk rock. It's sort of at like the intersection where surfing and style really first met in a new way. You know, being a surfer from New Jersey, like, I mean, people didn't even know there were waves in New Jersey back then. And that's the interesting thing about being a surfer here. It's not totally one-dimensional. I think you sort of have to have a fuller life here. And what I liked about working with Saturdays, I felt they did a really good job of telling the story, especially through the magazine, of what it's like to be a surfer in New York City. You know, so we told stories of interesting people that you might not think surf on the East Coast, who are musicians, artists, chefs, you know. And I think it tells a fuller picture about what it's like to be a surfer here. MOSCOT and Saturdays, two brands with New York City DNA.